NFL season is on the horizon, but first, that means the Dallas Cowboys are heading to Oxnard for training camp. I will be there, you will be there. What do you think is the number one storyline for Dallas Cowboys training camp this year?
There's a combination of the number one real storyline and then the number one bogus storyline.
Let's start with the real one.
It's
and
real.
And then go bogus.
The installation of the new offense,
Yeah.
which has come to be called the Texas Coast offense.
I like that one.
And yeah, you can get your t-shirts right from us. They're DAC approved, by the way, the t-shirts, and that's the truth. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the installation of that offense, how it's going to work, Mike McCarthy's play calling, the marriage with Dak Prescott, the idea that it can in some ways protect Dak Prescott. That's a very real story. It's very important. That would be a natural thing for any team, anytime, right? We're going to have a new play caller, even though he's been doing it for his whole life.
Yeah.
We're going to install a new offense, and how's the quarterback going to adjust to it? That's real.
Yeah. Let's talk about the bogus.
Because this is Dallas, there's an additional bogus storyline.
Okay.
Which is, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, McCarthy doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, there's no way that Dak can get. We have to pretend that this is just for the sake of understanding.
Yeah.
Let's pretend this is Seattle or Denver or New England.
Yeah.
If somebody who'd been a play caller in the NFL and won a Super Bowl and been doing it for 2 decades decided, I think we're going to do this instead, and we're going to do it for the benefit of the quarterback, that would be accepted
for sure,
almost without question, everywhere. In fact, let's go to Denver, where there's plenty of people celebrating that Sean Payton's going to fix Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a new coach who's been a play caller, installing a new system with a quarterback who was terrible last year.
Awful.
Okay, Dak Prescott had the interceptions,
Yes.
or more honestly, and the offense had the interceptions.
Yeah.
But Dak was productive. By the way, they did go 12-5.
Yeah.
We can do this in New England.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick made a mistake last year.
No offensive coordinator did not work out well for them.
He just let a couple of his bros be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And this year he's going retro bro, Bill O'Brien, who's again, Bill O'Brien's done this at the highest level.
Yeah.
So he's going to go, and it's universally accepted that Bill O'Brien is going to fix Mac Jones.
Yep.
So how can it be that Bill O'Brien's going to fix Mac Jones, who was definitely broken last year?
Yeah.
After having,
Regressed big time.
no question, made the Pro Bowl as a rookie last year, not so much. How can Bill O'Brien be guaranteed to fix Mac? Sean Payton guaranteed to fix Russ, the former Seattle Seahawks quarterback, of course, who was brilliant in Seattle and then somehow lost it. That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
But Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys, it's going to be a disaster. There's the difference between the real and the bogus.
Okay, let's move to see who you think might win a title first in Dallas. Is it Dak Prescott with the Cowboys, or is it Luka Doncic with the Mavs?
Wow.
I know, tough one.
Luka Doncic and the Mavs story, if you just turn the clock back 12 months, you'd be going, whoa, I mean, they went to the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
And then this last year, everything, even with the trade for
Kyrie
Irving,
Yeah.
it still didn't fix whatever it was that was broken. Here's why I think the Cowboys would be the way to lean here.
Oh.
As we're looking at the Mavericks roster right now, we still don't know where they're going. Kyrie is re-signed. There's no reason to think Luka's unhappy. More moves to be made. But are the Mavericks one of the 3 best teams in the West?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Right. The
But
West is weird too.
Right.
Yeah.
But I know what the Cowboys are. There's no question that the Cowboys are a top 3 team in the NFC.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're better than the 49ers. We don't know if they're better than the Eagles, although when they play the Eagles, they are.
We'll find out.
And when they play the 49ers, they're not. But who's the 4th best team in the NFC?
Yeah, it could be anybody.
You can make a case, our man Corbin K. Smith, who covers the Seahawks for us, makes a case that the Seahawks are the 4th best team in the NFC.
That's a solid case.
It is a good case.
Yeah, especially with all their offensive weapons.
No question. But they're not on the same level. They haven't established that they're on the same level with the other 3.
Yeah.
If Washington, if Sam Howell, the 5th round, 2nd year guy, elevates his game, then they can be in this conversation. But that's a gigantic if.
Yeah.
The Giants haven't established that they're there yet. The Atlanta Falcons, if Desmond Ridder raises his game,
Yeah.
they could win the division, but not on the same level.
So what you're saying is the Cowboys, compared to their competition, have
Right.
a better chance of winning a title.
Yes, because they are on a tier
Yeah.
with only 2 other teams in a very weak NFC,
Yeah.
whereas I don't have any idea right now, we don't have any idea where the Dallas Mavericks are
Right.
in terms of tier.
When you look at this Dallas Cowboys roster, is there anything that really worries you, maybe is super concerning, and is it quarterback Dak Prescott's interceptions?
Yeah, I just think one of the safest bets going is that Dak Prescott will never in another season throw for 15 interceptions.
Yeah, well,
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
One of the things that I know they're doing here as they work inside this building, sit down, watch film. This is McCarthy, Dak, and Schottenheimer. Let's watch those 15 interceptions. What went wrong? What was right? Let's
Yeah.
watch some of the other things that went wrong too.
Yeah.
And we were talking to Dak the other day, and he wasn't not throwing anybody under the bus, but he's saying our receivers are going to be more educated this year as to what they're supposed to do. That's not an anti-Kellen Moore take.
No.
It is about the simplification of the offense. The West Coast offense and horizontal routes, they're easier to run, easier to read for the quarterback. So I don't think Dak Prescott's going to be a surprisingly good or disappointingly bad.
Yeah.
I know there's some people that have expressed some concern about Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
And you know, is he going to play 17 games? And the numbers and the sport says the answer to that is no. That as he's on the backside of his career with his injury history, no.
But you'd think they'd be prepared for that.
And they are.
Yeah.
There's this idea that, well, they should since he might get hurt, they should keep him on the bench.
Yeah.
Well, then what happens when the starter gets hurt? Then he's going in.
All right.
And by the way, the starter in his place would be an inferior player.
Yeah.
There's also some idea that 2 of the rookies are being overrated, and that would be Schoon, the second-round tight end, and Deuce, the running back.
Yeah.
And I would respond to those criticisms or predictions by saying this: you might be right about Schoon.
Yeah.
He's a second-round pick who's not going to start, and maybe it doesn't mean he's bad. Maybe this offense is just that talented.
Yeah.
Maybe Jake Ferguson is just that good. Jake Ferguson, by the way, if you're into advanced stats, nobody got more open at tight end last year than Jake Ferguson. Nobody in the league.
Yeah.
Not Travis Kelce. Nobody got more open than Jake Ferguson.
Big thing for the Cowboys who lost Dalton Schultz.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then the other guy is Deuce, but the people that think he might disappoint don't understand what's going on there. He is not penciled in to be the number 2 running back. He's penciled in to be the number 3 running back.
For fun. Some fun plays and
Nope. If
Switch
he
it up.
even gets a jersey on Sundays. What I'm told inside this building is they have no plans to cut Deuce Vaughn. But that could mean that he's on the 53 but never plays.
Right.
It could mean that we get to Oxnard and they say, okay, he looks good, but boy, we're really good with Rico, or really good with any of the, or Rojo.
Yeah.
The other collection have got Malik.
right.
Hunter Lipke. And so, oh, Deuce, look, your toe's sprained.
Yeah.
You're going on IR. But Deuce Vaughn will not be a disappointment here inside this building, because they're not expecting Deuce Vaughn to do what I think some national media people think is going to happen. He's not going to explode upon the scene and be Tony Pollard Jr.
Right. Well, we're heading into training camp. Is there any whispers that you're hearing about this team? And maybe you can shed some light on Tony Pollard coming back from his injury. He's supposed to be full go.
Well, yeah, there's not an injury issue with Pollard. I think that's going to be fine.
Yep.
There is a contractual issue, and as we speak now inside this building, they are working on this.
Yeah.
The clock is ticking. July 17th is the deadline.
Yep. That's coming up quick.
Yes, for a franchise tagged guy to forge with his team a new contract, or else he plays on this year on the $10 million deal.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
$10 million for a running back nowadays is awfully
lot
good.
of money, yeah.
But the handful of issues here include, one, do the Cowboys want to have learned a lesson from Ezekiel Elliott and say, and now that was $15 million,
Right.
and just say, listen, we're just never doing anything like that again. We're going to do it like the Chiefs do it. We're just going to draft some guy in the 7th round and he's going to play running back. And that's where a guy like Rico or Malik could come in.
Yeah.